Hello, Doc here for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA newsletter market update for Thursday, the 5th of March. Again, we'll start on the S&P 500, which is the real benchmark index of the U.S. stock market, biggest in the world. Last I heard, it was around, it used to be priced worth $33 trillion. Now, who knows what it is? I do believe that we lost about $6 trillion in value on last week's crash to the downside. So today we continue getting a little bit of weakness. Prices bounced up to about the 50% retracement of this. Perhaps that was just a dead cat bounce and maybe we're going to roll over. Really, there's three ways that this could happen from here. Now, it's still within the possibility that we're going to see a V bottom. I've been saying on record lately that I just don't think that's going to happen. I think there's been so much technical damage that has occurred and usually we get wave after wave after wave of this sort of bad news, and then people just they can't believe, oh my God, not more bad news. And then all of a sudden more bad news. And this happens because our reticular activating system is now tuned in to bad news. Whereas back here when things were just heading higher, bad news was just another excuse to buy. And the sentiment flips, and all of a sudden, bad news begets bad news begets bad news. Now, you can see this type of capitulation behavior that I've been talking about for years that does cause bounces. And we strangely just do not see this in the cryptocurrency markets, but we see a lot of this in the equity markets. It's almost flipped around. So to me, I think the highest probability is that we bounce around here for a while. Kind of similar to what we did here. In this case, it resolved to the upside before giving another dipsy doodle before finally breaking to the upside. So I believe that we will consolidate for a while at this level or within this range, perhaps anywhere above this point of control and higher. And then more than likely, I think what we're going to do is revisit the bottom or at least provide that scary higher low. And that might start to work things higher. If it does, we could just as easily see this start to work into a primary downtrend as well too. This is similar to what we saw back here at the end of 2018, where rates were going higher and all of a sudden they were not going higher. We had the initial swing down, big choppy bear flag for a while, and then phase two of the decline, and then it V-bottomed. Now look what's happening with rates right now. Rates have just been plummeting and have been doing so really since the beginning of the year. And as a result of that, people are piling into these bonds, and this is just going to create another incredible bubble that's setting up. Now, the good news in all of this is that regardless of the weakness of the market, the overall stock market, cryptocurrency as a whole has been very strong today. So after we got all of the margin calls out of the way last week, now the market can trade freely. And so far, this is finding support at a level that we would expect it to. Again, the big level that's down here is right around 8,000. That to me had to hold. So far, it's holding. Now, the one thing I want to make sure that you don't forget about is this could bounce up to a lower high. This could bounce up to a lower high and then roll over again, and then maybe we'll get the retest. Remember, this is a weekly pullback. A weekly pullback can have lower highs and lower lows inside of it. Remember, this is what we're seeing here. Weekly pullback. Let me pull this out a little bit so you can see what's going on. This really shows exactly what's happening, though, in the greater market. This has been one enormous symmetrical triangle. A huge symmetrical triangle. Now let's get rid of this guy here. We don't need volume profile anymore. Let's go out to a log scale at the monthly chart, and we can see really what's happening here. This amazing move has led us into big consolidation. So don't get lost in that consolidation. So far, this is still overall bullish on a very macro scale. It should break out to the upside. Probabilities do favor this to break out to the upside eventually. But what helps it break out is traders getting way too bearish and loading up on the negative side, and that is what causes that short covering when the price finally pops above there. So little dips and little pullbacks like what we're seeing right now actually do help things in the longer term. Now, guys, across the board, we're seeing fairly good results just about everywhere. You know, that we're seeing almost a carbon copy of this. Again, this could be just a bear flag setting up before rolling over again. So keep that in mind. Some of these do look better than others, such as Tezos. Looks pretty good. This is obviously breaking out above this range to the upside. We have Chainlink continuing to be strong. Let's see whether or not we can anticipate a little bit of weakness setting up here. So far, no, we're pretty good in terms of energies, not only at the daily chart, but the weekly chart has just enough to support perhaps one more swing. We'll keep an eye on that one. Okay, so as we go down through here, a lot of coins are doing pretty well. Basic attention token looks pretty good. And the further we go down the top 20, the less likely we are to see something really attractive. So typically these moves do favor the top 10. As we go down into our swing trades, some of the swing trades that we're watching, some of these still look really good, like Ocean looks really, really good. Hero is just consolidating. We have Icon, believe it or not, a blast from the past Icon, doing very, very well lately. So I like what I'm seeing in the overall cryptocurrency market, even though we are going opposite to the stock market. And now I think it makes sense for us to do that. Now is perhaps when we can start to play that hedge function that so many have spent so much time talking about. All right, folks, that is it for today's report. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on Sunday with a weekend report. Take care.